because I wanted to be where my brother was. There'd be a fame, there'd be a recognition in papers, and be like my brother, I wanted to be champion. He took me to the hospital, took me to Queen Mary's, and I had a CAT scan, and I couldn't fight no more. My boxing career was taken away from me, and that's when my addiction took off, really. Any drug I had put me in a place of harm. And unfortunately, he had a pop at me who could have a go, but I stuck a beer glass in him and he nearly died. And I got 18 months of prison out there. Now, don't thank me, thank God. I'm just his vessel to do my best for him and for you. If you want this, it's for free. You don't have to pay nothing for it.
Hello and welcome to 12 Steps and 12 Questions. My name is Silvio and I'm an addict. This pod is full of personal and inspirational stories of recovery from addiction. And in every episode, I'll ask each guest the same 12 questions about their life, addiction and recovery. Quick warning, there will be some graphic descriptions and a healthy amount of swearing. For this episode, please welcome Gary.
Gary, thank you so much for being my guest on this new episode of 12 Steps and 12 Questions. Welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for asking me to do this for you, and it's a privilege, what I mean?
Wonderful. Would you like to introduce yourself quickly?
Well, my name's Gary. I'm from Orpington, Kent. I've been in recovery for 18 years, sober.
Wow.
By the grace of God.
Wow. Okay, great. So just before we came on, you asked me to start the recording with a prayer. Let's go for it.
Lord, show me the channel of thy peace, that where there's hatred I may be love, that where there's wrong I may bring spirit of forgiveness, where there's discord I may bring harmony, where there's error I may bring truth, that where there's doubt I may bring faith, where there's despair I may bring hope, that where there's shadows I may bring light. Lord, grant I may seek to comfort, then to be comforted, to understand, then to be understood, to love, then to be loved. For it is by self-forgetting that one finds, it is by forgiving that one is forgiven, for dying that one awakens to eternal life. Amen.
So be it. It's wonderful. St. Francis' prayer for the listener. He didn't read it, he knows it by heart. So that's brilliant. Brilliant start. Thank you so much. Let's get to the questions, Gary. And question one is, did you have any adverse childhood experiences?
I had a lot of adverse experiences, through... my father was a very heavy drinker, and I see that in my younger years. I can't remember much about my school days as an infant and everything. I know I used to play up a lot, you know what I mean? And
at an early age?
Cool. About 8, 9. And then, I went on to a primary school and then a secondary school, you know what I mean? Secondary school where there was all my brothers like Alan, Jim and Keith. They was my elder brothers, you know what I mean? So I was the little one of the family, the younger brother. I had 2 sisters, and through my school days, it was like I was always watching. I was very quiet person, you know what I mean? I was never ever any good at English or maths. I was dyslexic.
Did you know that then? Was there a word for it then?
ADHD.
You used that word back when you were 8 or 9?
Yeah.
You did? Wow,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Wish someone told me that one.
Well, but I didn't understand. I didn't understand what was going on. So I did not understand what was going on. And then all my life was evolved around my father. You know what I mean? And I see him drinking. I see him hurt my mum a few times when I was little, and I didn't like that what I see. You know what I mean? And so. And then he put us all in. All my brothers were boxing, and I started boxing when I was 10. I put my first boxing glove on, and I see what I see now. That I thought I'd done it because my dad wanted me to do it, not because I wanted to do it. But eventually, I become to like what I was doing.
The boxing,
yes, in boxing.
When did you do that?
I'd done that at a place called Orpington ABC when I was 10, when I was about 10, and then we went from there to Syphilic Games in Croydon, and I went from there to Fitzroy Lodge in Lambeth, at the age of 15 to Lambeth.
It sounds like you were quite good at it.
I was very good. My brother was British and European champion.
Wow.
I was Kent champion at the age of 12, and ABC finalist at the age of 18, and then I had my first consequences through drinking at the age of 18.
Yeah.
I used to go to Gontoff.
Yeah. Before we go into the consequences that you were just mentioning there, let's just go one step back quickly.
Yeah.
So you see your dad hit your mother.
Yeah.
Your dad drinks a lot. How did that feel when you were that age?
I didn't really understand what was going on. I did not understand. I thought, why would you hurt Mum? You know, Mum was a very lovely and caring person. I loved my mum.
Yeah.
And I loved my dad, you know, but to see him come home drunk and have a go at my mum, it was like, well, and at the age of, I think, 16, I grabbed him and I went, don't touch Mum. I went, don't touch Mum again. Please don't touch Mum again because I'll hurt you. You know, so you know, I got to a period in my boxing that, you know, I was good at what I do and I enjoyed it, you know what I mean? And my brothers and that was going. My brother Keith was always in and out of prison. I never ever hardly see him. Alan I never ever hardly see because he used to go to France and that, travel. So it was just me and my sisters really, you know. And
did you feel you had to protect your mum because your brothers were away?
Yes, yeah, definitely. And you know, and I think that time when that happened, when I was about 16, must have been about 16, definitely. He was having an argument with my mum in the kitchen and I grabbed him. I pushed him against the wall and I went, don't ever touch Mum again. And
how did he react?
Oh, he said, get out of the house.
Right.
And I had to move out of the house.
All right, he threw you out proper.
Yeah, he threw me out, yeah. And I moved in with my brother, Keith, down St Mary's Cray, you know. You know, and it was a time of, I was angry with myself, very angry with myself. But, you know, and there was a little pub round the corner called the Robin Hood in St Mary's Cray, and that's when it started slowly, not continuing every night and whatever, drinking and whatever, but because I'm still boxing. And then...
and you enjoyed the boxing?
I loved it.
Right. What did you like about it? What was good about it?
The atmosphere.
Right.
The atmosphere of the winning. Because, you know, at the early age of my boxing career, I think I lost my first 12 fights.
Wow.
You know, but then you got your father in your ear hole saying to me, which really dented me all my life, that you'll never be no good.
Right.
And then I went, really, Dad? And he went, well, you know, you don't do this and you don't do that, you know. He was a very controlling person, you know.
Mm.
And I think that's why he moved us from club to club, because he wanted us to get better, you know.
Yeah.
Which I thanked him for that, you know.
Mm.
The club in London, Fitzroy Lodge, was a very famous club.
Right, okay.
And I trained with world champions in there, and British champions and European champions when they turned pro, you know. Mm. And I still speak to some of them today.
Yeah. And I assume that you were a young kid and you just looked up to these guys and you wanted to be a champ, really.
Yes, I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Did, yeah.
Yeah. And then you started, and then you turned it around because you started winning.
Yeah. When I turned pro, when I turned amateur, proper like senior.
Yeah.
That's when my life, my feelings of a practice of running over the bridges at Westminster and training 3 times a week at the lodge, and the trainers I had around me, they were like fathers to me.
Yeah.
They treated me and my brother like royalty.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. You know, it was like, you know, wherever we fought in the country, I fought in Germany twice for London, you know what I mean, and one out there. And it was just a lovely atmosphere, you know.
Must have given you tremendous confidence.
Yeah, but my dad, I never ever had him in one of my photos after a winning fight.
Right.
Never.
Right.
My brother, my oldest brother Keith, just come out of Wandsworth Nick doing 6 months. He was at the Cat's Whiskers. I was 18, I think. I won a top fight there, and he was in the picture with me, and I still got that picture today. And I think, why ain't my dad standing next to me? So it dented me a lot, really.
Yeah.
You know, why am I dad? But
it's a really interesting relationship, isn't it? On the one hand,
yes.
On the one hand, he's done he's done you harm. He's harmed you.
Yes.
Hasn't he? You know, on the one hand, and on the other hand, with that harm, you know, he's pushed you into something that ended up being something that you really loved and that you were really good at.
Yeah. And then, you know, we carried on with the amateur stuff, you know what I mean? And then Jim said to me, he said, I'm turning pro, Gal. And I went to him, really? I said, who are you turning pro with? He said, Doug Bidwell, Elementor's manager. I went, okay, and I was 23 then. And I remembered, I went, oh, when he went after the first 4 months, I went, I want to be pro, I want to turn pro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I never had no titles wrapped around me, amateur titles, just, you know, when I was young. And I said to Doug, can I turn pro with you? And Jim went, oh, I'd love that. So I turned pro with Jim.
Jim is your trainer?
No, Jim's my brother.
It was your brother, sorry, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, so Jim was my brother, and he had a good amateur, you know, he was one of the stars at Fitzroy. You know, he was one of the stars. And I suppose I wasn't all because he was my brother. So I felt part of, you know.
Yeah.
And when I turned pro, we used to train at Alexander in Penge. And I lost my first 3 fights as pro, and I won my last one. And then I had a blockage in training. I had a session with Jimmy. He was defending or fighting for his British title, for a fight with a British title, a Royal Balboa, when I was sparring with him. And I had a blackout in sparring. Right. And I got out of the ring, and I can't remember. And I turned the shower on. I remember the shower coming on and me waking up, and I'm going, oh, what's going on there? It was like being in the madness, but I didn't know nothing about it until I was in it, you know.
Yeah.
I was sitting there going, Jim went to me, what's the matter, Gal? And I went, Jim, I can't remember nothing what I've done. He said, well, you've been on the bag. He said, you've done your bag. Well, you've done 8 rounds, 9 rounds of sparring with me. I went, I can't remember. And he went, come on.
That's scary.
He took me to the hospital, took me to Queen Mary's, and I had a CAT scan, and it took that away from me. I couldn't fight no more. Yeah. I was as fit as anything. I'd run every morning. I'd train every night, you know, and because I wanted to be where my brother was. I really wanted to be where he was, you know, that bit of fame, that bit of recognition in papers, you know. And don't get me wrong, we had the recognitions in papers, our brothers, because it was a big family. So my name was about, you know, we was famous, a famous family, you know.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to be like my brother. I wanted to be a champion.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a champion. But that was taken away from me. So, you know, and that's when my addiction took off, really.
Yeah.
You know,
that brings us to question 2, which is, what did the fun times, or what did it look like those times when you got hooked at first? Because obviously, I mean, I say fun times on the back of big trauma here, so slightly awkwardly phrased.
Yeah,
but I think you get me in the beginning, no matter if you've got trauma, and I know this from my own experience, no matter if you've got trauma or what trauma you have, the drugs to start with and the drink to start with, it's fun. Otherwise, we wouldn't get hooked, you know. So what did that look like? So here you are, you're what, 23?
I was 23, you know, and
you're fit as a fiddle, but you can't box.
An individual, but my mind was telling me I could fight again. He was telling me I could still fight, and then my brother took over unlicensed boxing because he retired, you know, and we started the unlicensed boxing. So this is where the drug and the drink started, really. You know, we used to train at a place called the Shapes Gym in Eltham, and a guy called Reg Parker used to run it, and we showed it one night. I was staying at the bar one night, and while Jim was finishing his training, just finished, I wiped him down, we had a shower each, come out of the bar, and I said to Reg, what have you got? And he said, well, what would you like? You know? And I suppose that started my addiction with cocaine.
Mm.
You know, that was...
Was that the first time you'd taken coke?
No, the first time I took cocaine was in Jamaica.
Oh.
Funny enough, I was out there tying a knot with my wife.
Was that your honeymoon?
It was like that, yeah. And I remember, you know, before then, you know, I had little bits bits of speed, and you know, I weren't an heavy drinker, I weren't an heavy user then. You know what I mean? It's just bits and pieces, had a few drinks here, a few drinks there. You know, whenever my brother had a big fight, we all had a big drink up, you know what I mean, and whatever. And then, you know, I flew out to Jamaica, you know, and I had no intentions to use out there or whatever, you know. I smoked this skunk out there, the indica out there.
Yeah.
Which one were a lifeguard got me every day, big bag of skunk or indica, what they call it. And I remember sitting at the bar one day and I went to this guy. He just come out. I went, "Have you got any cocaine, mate?" Like that.
So you asked him without having ever tried it. You just somewhere, the seed must have been planted.
It's planted somewhere in my head, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember him going, "Wait a minute, sir." He said, "I'll go and get you some." And then in about half hour, he come back, and then you know all the things we do around getting the money out of my wife or whatever, the purse or whatever, you know. And I remember she was sitting behind me, and he passed me a matchbox across the counter, and he's sitting there. I said, "How much?" He said, $80 or whatever it was. I can't really remember. It was a long time ago. And I said, "Well," he says, "in the matchbox." And I remember opening the matchbox, going to the toilet, sniffing the whole lot. Wow, mate, it was like I arrived.
Yeah.
I did arrive. It was like the fear, the anxiety, everything just dropped out of me, you know what I mean? You know, and for them 2 weeks in Jamaica, you know, she was lovely, my wife, you know. She was just a magical person, and I had some good times with her, you know. But that, you know, and I knew then, looking back now, it was wrong. It was wrong what I was doing. But it was all like the pursuit again. "Oh, give us another $200, babe. Give us or whatever," because she held the money. I said, "You look after the money." Keep paying the guy every night, and he kept slipping me a little matchbox over nearly every night, and I was sniffing in it, and I thought to myself, "Well, I'm on holiday. I'm celebrating my marriage to a beautiful woman, you know." And we had one of our kids there, you know. That was her previous partner's Bobby, you know what I mean? And I had some lovely times out there. We were on the boat and the boats and the rafts and all that, you know.
So you tied the knot with your wife and with cocaine?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. And I did not realise where it would take me. You know what I mean? I did not realise what it would take me. So
these were the good times, though. So you had some good times with it for some time to come, I take it.
Yeah. It was. You know, when I come back, when we started the unlicensed fighting, you know, and by then football violence come into my life. You know, because I could box and have a row. Millwall, you know, the bushwhackers or whatever down South London. You know, I've had tear-ups left, right and centre down there with West Ham and, you know, on the underground stations and Euston, St Pancras, you know. But that's where, you know, we used to go in a pub over Lee Green called the Northbrook. And I used to serve up in there. You know, I used to get off my mate down at gym, Reg, an ounce a week off of him, and I used to sell it. And you know, and I think I wasn't doing no harm. I was selling it, all right. I was having a bit here and there, taking a bit. I was down football every Saturday, selling a bit there, you know, and I was earning a lot of money. I was earning a lot of money. I was paying him every week £1,000 or whatever. And so, you know, it escalates to a place of, well, I could keep doing this. I ain't getting nicked. I ain't getting caught for this. You know what I mean? But maybe I should step out of it, but I couldn't.
Now, with the football violence,
yes.
How much do you think did cocaine and drugs and drink in general, how big a part did that play?
It fuels it.
Right.
It fuels it. They look, you know, like, I got, you know, I meet 10 guys, 15 guys at a pub at Norfolk in the morning. We go to Wembley. They'll want like 3-4 grams off me. You know what I mean? Boom, they're on it. We're there. You know, we're together. You know what I mean? It's like being part of.
Yeah.
You know, and then the other guys, they know, go, "Oh, here, have one over there, girl. Go, sweet, 25 quid or whatever it is." You know what I mean? Then fueled it. Fueled it, you know what I mean?
So here you are. People would have called you a hooligan, I suppose. Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
You're with the Millwall firm.
Definitely.
What is this, late 80s?
It was 85, 86, 87, 88,
So
89.
at the height of football hooliganism in the UK,
yes.
right? Did you have any awareness at that time around how drugs were influencing your hooliganism, your fighting, and that life that you were leading?
Nothing at all. No, didn't. He just, when you feel a little bit tired, go, I had one of them that'll sort you out or whatever, and it's to go on like three-day benders, with these guys and whatever, and there was only a certain few that stayed with us, and it was just a little livener, and to get us going, to take away that fear of the opposite crowd or whatever who's coming towards us and whatever, Yeah, and in 204, but I'll get to it. In 204 was I was in Budapest, and just before I come into the rooms, I got stabbed out there. I nearly died, and and I couldn't see what was the matter. I sat in the hospital wing. My wife flew out there. I was divorced then, but I got back with her. And I remember her walking up the corridor. I'm sitting on the end of the bed, and I'm laughing. She went, "What you laughing at?" She went, "I bloody told you what was going to happen before you got on the plane. It's because you never listened to me, gal."
You got stabbed in a stadium?
I got stabbed in the underground.
In the underground? Okay.
In the underground, yeah.
But you were there for football?
Yeah, football violence, yeah.
So that went on for a long time. If that was 2004, you must have been living that life for, 15 years or more?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Now, especially if we roll it back slightly to sort of the late 80s, and around that time.
The rave scene?
Yeah. What did you enjoy about it?
What did I enjoy about it?
Yeah, I mean, to the outside world, having a big smash up with other people.
To do what I wanted to do. It was like the everywhere I went, everyone knew me.
Right, so you had notoriety, people knew you.
Oh yeah, they knew me.
And they feared you, I guess.
They had bouncers on doors, they knew me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As I said, my name was like, "Oh, he's so-and-so, so-and-so. You have a little chat, go, "Oh, yeah, he's doing this, he's doing that," you know what I mean? And that's how you look into a lot of criminality, you know what I mean?
Right, okay. Were you a criminal?
No, I was just...
apart from selling cocaine, obviously.
Well, yeah, it was, when you first do your first day of porridge, when you're 18, and when I'd done a month in Wilmer Scrubs, and then that was a chaotic night, but I weren't taking drugs then when I was 18. I think I had about 3-4 pernos at it was a Sham 69 concert. Because it was all skinheads then,
Oh, yeah.
And I remember coming out semi-conscious, semi-in blackout. I was having a piss up in the doorway, and it was when the RIA was doing things in London,
Bombings.
Yeah, and I remember someone grabbing on my shoulder, and I turned around, I've hit this geezer, knocked him spark out, and I've looked down, it's a copper. And I've gone, no. And I remember slipping off, running round the corner. The meat wagon's come bolting round the corner, and my mate's gone, "You all right, Carl?" I went, "Fucking all right. Are you joking, ain't you?" And they just pounced on me, stuck me in the back of the meat wagon, and I got a month in Wilmer Scrubs.
Just trying to get a bit more of a clearer picture of you here.
Good.
So you're in your mid-20s, right? So around that time, you come from a boxing culture, you're a skinhead, you're a football hooligan. You're part of the Millwall firm. Yeah. People know who you are, right? Yeah. People respect you. People fear you. You must have felt like the dog's bollocks, really.
Oh, yeah. You feel like you're invincible.
Right.
Really, honestly. And with the cocaine involved,
yeah,
you do. You think, and you do. You think, wow, I'm the nuts, me. I'm the nuts,
Yeah.
And I see the interviews on the telly with the old football guys, the headhunters and all that, and I look at it and it makes me cringe a little bit now.
Yeah.
But where I was and what I could do was I could have a fight. That's it. I could have a fight, and I was proud of that. I was proud of what I could do. And there was a lot of fights that weren't even my fault. They'd pull me in a nightclub and I'd go, "Well, slow down." You know what I mean? Like, I don't want no trouble. I'm out with my wife or kids or whatever. You know what I mean? And then bang, it'd just kick off.
Did you, for those fights where you were intending to get into fights, did you ever feel in that time, I mean, not now, but in that time, did you ever feel any remorse? Did you sort of wake up in the morning, your hands are,
No, never. Because, at 24, this will make you cringe. At 24, yeah, just finished boxing. My brother's fighting in Munich, in Germany, yeah.
Professional fight?
Yeah, professional fight against George Steinhardt, yeah. I'm going, right, I'm going to take 1,000 pills with me, SKF Blues with me, and we're just going to have a good piss up out there because it's the Oktoberfest, yeah.
What kind of pills are they?
SKF Blues, speed pills.
Oh, right, speed pills.
Speed pills, yeah.
Right.
Just, I couldn't, and I'm walking through Heathrow Airport with them, tucked underneath my bollocks, didn't give a monkeys, because I thought I was better than, again, get on the plane, fly to Germany, sort it out, whatever, go to the Oktoberfest, and there were a couple of fights there with geese on a bumper cars we was doing anyway, whatever. Anyway, the night got on to Jimmy's fight coming up, goes in one bar, I'm sitting there with all my guys I'm with, it's all kicked off. I've gone, no, I don't believe it. But what it was, right, this is how it started. The German guy at the door come and see me, and when I steal a beer stein off the bar, and I went, nah, mate, fuck off, do yourself a favour and go, mate. Now this, I'm being honest here, yeah? Anyway, someone said behind me, 2 World Wars, 1 World Cup, and it's just kicked off.
Yeah.
The geezers laying on my brother Keith was with me. I've got my beer stein in my hand, I've just finished drinking, I've smashed it, I've shoved it in his back, and I was half in blackout. And I remember turning round to one guy, and he went, please I come. And I went, nah, mate, crack. I've done him with a right hand, got out the building, got out of the bar. And remorse, of course I've got remorse today. I've got loads of remorse today. I'd love to get hold of that German and go, you know what? I was just in a bad space. Them pills took me to, when they say, oh, well, that'll take you there. Any drug I had put me in a place of harm.
Yeah.
I couldn't, if he never said about the beer stein, that wouldn't have happened. So, my defence was, because we was English, we had all my brother's name on us, he didn't like what he was looking at, so he had to have a pop of one of us. And unfortunately, he had a pop of me who could have a go, but I stuck a beer glass in him and he nearly died. And I got 18 months of prison out there.
In Germany?
Yeah.
Now, as someone who, I was born and I grew up in Germany,
yeah.
But of course, because my parents are Italian, I sort of have an outside view on Germany as well. I know it can be quite a bewildering place.
Yeah.
What was that like?
What was it like? See, this is the start of This is the start of fixing myself again. Yeah, again.
And we've kind of crossed into question 3 here, which is,
okay, all right.
What were your worst consequences, and then finally your rock bottom? So let's just kind of go.
Oh, no, that's a long way off from the rock bottom. Long way off.
We've got time. So
yeah, it's like, this is, I'm 23, I'm fit as fiddle. They put me in a prison.
Right. Okay.
They put me in a German prison. Right. Then all of a sudden, I'm sitting in a cell going, fucking hell, I was in Stadelheim in Munich, 23-hour bang up. There was a little walk out in the exercise yard, a little church there, and I'm thinking, oh, what you reckon? And then I met a couple of English guys out there from Brighton, and they was out there for laundering and drug taking and selling and all that. There was another black guy out there from Bethnal Green, and I thought, wow, I'm at home here.
There was no awareness whatsoever about the fact that you were a really violent person.
I was an angry person.
Yeah.
Angry.
And that you'd go out, you'd hurt people, and that you had zero remorse around this, and that this was fueled by trauma, that this was fueled by drugs, be it by amphetamines, be it by cocaine, be it by alcohol. There was zero awareness around that at that time.
If you're enjoying this podcast and would like other addicts and alcoholics to hear it, then please make the pesky AIs and algorithms work their 12th step. Hit like and subscribe.
Zero, because
Wow.
I was so upset. And I think I was so upset and emotional at her because my boxing career was taken away from me.
Yeah.
And I had to fuel it somewhere else. And I knew that. I knew that at the time. I had to do, the events of, waiting with Germany and all that, And I sat there, brother, and I looked out at the sky, and then a black guy come round my cell one night and he went, "Would you like some puff?" And I went to him, "Well, what do I do with that?" Because I didn't have a clue.
Mm-hmm.
Put a line of cocaine in me, I know, as snort that up. He was like, I could have got anything in there. I could have got anything in that prison.
Yeah.
In Ansbach.
Yeah. So how long did this phase that, the good times, how long did that last? I mean, you said
Good
you were
time.
24.
I think it was a good time when I first took a line of Charlie. That was it.
Yeah, until when? Until when did the good times start turning into bad times? When did the consequences start hitting? Because, you were saying that you were 24, you were in prison, you did 18 months there. It sounded like this was quite normal to you. It didn't sound, at least not, it wasn't unusual,
It wasn't unusual.
No,
Right.
Okay. So you're there, you're doing your time and so on. Otherwise you're big time Charlie, right?
Yeah.
You think, you're
Of the
invincible.
bollocks,
You were invincible, as you said yourself. So, but from there, at some point, this whole situation must have cracked somewhere, because you then must have had some sort of consequences come in eventually. When did that happen?
I when I come out of Germany, I flew back. You know what I mean? And I touched on English soil. I remember it clearly. And don't you know, there was another case in Germany. That was at a nightclub, and some bouncer started, and we smashed him to pieces. And that was ongoing. When I got back in Germany, the CID were there waiting for me. And when I got off the plane, they went, "We just want to ask you a few questions." I said, "Okay." And I was shivering because I thought it was going to take me away again. They said, "Oh, this and that, Silv,
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I went to my mum. I went, "Mum," I said, "I ain't going to do that no more," you know what I mean? And I suppose from the age of 20, 24, 25, I just went through life working, selling this, working, selling this, selling that. And I weren't drinking heavily. I weren't taking drugs heavily. Just now and then,
How did it progress?
How did it progress?
When were drugs becoming a problem?
Oh, that's a good
Which
question.
is our question 3, really.
Your question 3, when did drugs become a problem?
In other words, yeah.
I don't really. I can answer it in one thing, that I think it's because I didn't know when it was a problem.
Right.
If you see what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't mean I knew it was a problem. You know what I mean? Where, when I used to serve up and down the Millwall and clubs and pubs and whatever, wherever I lived, you know what I mean? I was with my wife then, Blue, after Jamaica. You know what I mean? In the 4 years leading up to where that other question we're going to get to, I didn't think there was a problem.
No,
I really didn't think there was a problem.
Right, okay. So question 3 is, what were your worst consequences, and finally your rock bottom? So how did it get to that? What did that look like?
When my wife kicked me out the last time. I remember sitting in the back of my van and going, well, I weighed about 11 stone.
You're really, really tall bloke. How tall are you? 6'3"?
6'2".
6'2".
Yeah, 6'2". I lost the love of my life.
Right.
I lost the love of my life. It was like, I look back now, I had 3 kids by her, and the one like I brought up as my own that she had when, she had a violent doing with her ex, you know what I mean? And, But then again, I was exactly the same. I was out on the piss every night, and you know, when I could get out of that argument and get out the door when I wanted to, and that whatever. But you know, at the end, you know, she just went to me, fucking sort it out, and I had to go. You know what I mean? And
so she was tired of you drunk and
yeah. I was never drunk round her. I was never falling all over the place. I think it was because where I'd get home, or she'd ring me and go, "Where the fuck are you?" And I'd go, "Oh, I'm at so and so, well, whatever, you know, whatever." And I'd get home, and she'd look, "Stay." So where you been? I go, "I've been so and so." She goes, "No, you ain't. You've been down so and so, so and so." So I was lying a little bit where I was. I was lying. It was liars. I'm a liar. You know, I didn't want to know what I was doing, what I was selling. You know what I mean? But you know, it just broke. It just snapped. Just snapped in me. And I remember the last time I used. You know.
So this is after you lost your wife to this, yeah?
This is just after. I lost her, 18 years ago. I remember sitting in my van and my head went to me, "You know what, gal? You're all right. You're okay. Just give it one more go." So I remember going down to see Reg on the Thursday after work. "Give us an ounce, Reg. I'll see you next week." "Yeah, sweet." Boom. Over it come. Went back to my mates, bagged it all up where I was staying. Even Del went, "Gal," "You're off your fucking nut." I went, "What? What's the matter with you?" So I'm all right. He said, "Can't you see it?" I went, "See what?" He said, "What you doing? The people that love you, what you doing?" I went, "Look, it's done." He said, "I'm finished. I'm done with her." You know, so my way of releasing that thing I had with her was just go on it. Just go on itself. And I remember sitting in that pub that night and my head just cracked. It just cracked. And I went and I had my big bag of gear on me and I threw it on the table and I went, "I'm done. I'm fucking done out of here." And I remember my mate Mark standing there with me. He went, "Gal, what's the matter?" I went, "Mark, mate, I've had enough. I've got to get out of here." And I left them there to do what they had to do with the gear. I jumped in my van. I went back to Dell's house, which was down Orpington. I got in early and he went, "What's the matter?" And I went, "I've had enough, Del. I've had enough."
Do you know what this sounds like? And forgive me if I'm getting this wrong here, but it sounds like you had zero awareness all along. Yeah, zero awareness, and then all of a sudden, it all came all at once,
yes.
Ba-dum,
Bang,
and presented itself to you.
Yeah.
Right? Because if we look back, so, you know, all that time in your 20s and so on and so forth about, you know, we talked about it, not having any awareness around, you know, the violence, how drugs were playing a part, the trauma, and so on and so forth. Things carry on, and they seem to carry on as normal, so to speak.
Yeah.
Then the love of your life leaves you, and within a short amount of time, you're packing it all in.
It was, you know, 4 years I was doing, 5 years I was doing the cocaine, solid, every day, every morning, you know. I'd get in the works van and it'd be I'd in the glove compartment. And I can believe me or not, he used to call me. He'd say, "Gal, have a line of gear and you'll be all right." And I'd have a line of gear, you know, and then till that night comes, she had enough. I could not, you know, I could not do more. I'd give her the money, I'd pay for the house and the beautiful house and everything. And then I sat in that pub that night for the last time and I went, "This is shit." Something come over me. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
Brother, something come over me and I had enough. You know, when it says in the book, we're sick and tired. I was sick and tired of hurting people.
Yeah.
You know, my hands were hurting. My head was hurting, you know. And I had some great times, not with the drugs. I had some great times with people without the drugs and drink. But I could not disdain that. I could not carry on like that. I just couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it.
So there's a moment of truth there, and you broke.
Yes, snapped. I snapped. I absolutely snapped.
Wow.
And the moment of this power, this entity that ended my life, ended me that day when I was down Dells.
Yeah.
I was sitting there at the table, and he went, "What are you going to do?" And I went, this was Saturday morning. I went, "Del, I don't know," but he didn't say, "Oh, just ask," or what, do whatever. I just went for a long walk that day. No thought of drinking or drugging that Saturday. That was like 2:05, September the 25th. I remember it so clearly. On Saturday, September the 25th, 2:05. Going for a long walk, I come back. He went, "You're right." I went, "Yeah, sweet." And he was good, Del. He went, "You can stay as long as you want, gal." Sunday come. I got up, no thought of drinking or drugging or whatever. There's a knock at the door. And "Gal, there's a geezer down here, wants to see you." I went, "Who the fuck's that?" And I walked down the stairs. There was a geezer standing at the door with a big book underneath his arm. I went, "Who are you?" He went, "Hello, mate, it's Gary." He said, "I'm from CA."
So just a sec, the guy who 12-stepped you was also called Gary?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It's just standing there, Sylv, with a big book underneath his arm. And he went, "Do you want some help, mate?" He said, "You look fucked." Now, my reaction to that would have gone, "Who the fuck are you talking to?"
Yeah.
Bang. But I never. I stopped. I paused. And I went, "Come in, mate, come in." And I remember coming in, sitting at the bar in my mate's house, Dells, and he 12-stepped me. And he went, "Would you like to come to a meeting?" Brother, I tried this. I tried this a year before I come into CA.
Mm-hmm.
I went to AA meetings, right, but I was sniffing cocaine in the toilets.
Of the AA meeting.
AA meeting, you got me? Yeah, crazy, insane thinking. Yeah.
You're not the first and only one.
It was insane. It was insane, but I'd done that because, I was back with the missus when it sorted it all out, you know what I mean? I thought, sweet, cushy, you know what I mean? But it was fucking great. It got worse. It just got worse. So by this time, I'm at Dells. This geezer's coming, 12-step me. He went, "Would you like to go to a meeting?" He said, "Have you ever prayed?" And I went, "Well, no, never prayed." He said, "Well, try." I went, "Okay." He left. He said, "I'll pick you up tomorrow night, Monday. Go to St. Luke's Church in Bromley." I went, "Okay, fella, yeah, go, yeah. It's nice." But there was something going on around me. There was something going on that I could feel something when I was talking to this guy because he was an ex-boxer and all.
Right.
And it was amazing. It's just, there's things that have dropped in that I look back now, Sylvan, it was like they was meant to be.
Yeah.
That was meant to be meeting him.
Let's just pause this for a second here and let's go to question 4, which is slightly around this time really of your breakdown, of your rock bottom, right? Question 4 is, did you ever want to die? Did you consider suicide?
No.
Never came into it?
Never. I nearly died a few times for accidents in violence.
Yeah.
Stabbed.
Yeah.
Stabbed twice.
But it never got to the using and the drinking to a degree where you kind of went, "I don't want to be here anymore."
I never got that low. Never got that low, no.
Okay. Right. Question 5, and I think we kind of answered it, but let's just quickly go there. What other methods did you try to get sober before finding the rooms? It doesn't sound like you tried a lot.
I never tried nothing.
Yeah. I didn't want
to. Because I didn't know. I didn't think I was put it this way. Addict and Alcoholics Anonymous didn't venture into my mind because I didn't know. I didn't think I was an alcoholic or addict.
Yeah.
So why would I venture into saying, "Oh well, okay, help me." Well, we've done as young kids. We went to like the probation officer. You know what I mean? Like we did when we was kids, young kids in trouble. Go to call Bromley. "Oh, you got 1 year probation or we're older. You're going to see her every week until we tell you about your problems." And I'd go, "What?" But that's how it was then.
Yeah.
You know. today they stick you inside. I don't know, you know, but yeah, there was no, Silver, just, yeah.
And so, fast forward back to Gary, the boxer from CA, who comes into your life, right? And so you're coming into the rooms, something snapped in you after all that time of unawareness in all of that, something snapped, you've lost a lot of your life. And you come into the rooms, did you struggle with the word God, which is our question 6?
No.
Right.
No.
Did you believe in God before you came in?
I believed in something.
Yeah. Even though you were a hooligan and a criminal and all the rest of it.
I believed in myself, didn't I?
Yeah.
Believed in what I could do. But the word God never ever worried me. No.
Yeah.
I liked being outside. You know, I used to do a lot of fishing, using and drinking down the lakes. You know, in my early days with my wife, I used to piss off all weekend on the piss with my mates down the lake and sit there and go, wow, you know. So always that, you know, and you know, and there's some scenarios there, fights at the lakes and all that, and everything getting out of our heads of a night and saying, who you're talking to, and kicking off with people, and you know, that's what normal self.
But so you didn't struggle with the word God at all.
No.
Okay. Interesting. So question 7 segues nicely into this, which is, how do you experience your higher power, or what are your God moments?
What are my God moments?
I mean, clearly, a boxer with your own name showing up at your door to 12-step you would be a God moment. And today, how do you experience your higher power today? I mean, you're 18 years in.
I'll get out to that moment of my experience. It's like when he come in, and I was listening to him, and I went, wow, there is someone like me.
Yeah.
That was the moment. I went, wow, there is someone who used to do exactly what I used to do, box and fight and drink and take drugs. He said, but I found a solution. Solution is the rooms, you know. So, but I knew about AA, but obviously he was doing cocaine. So I go, well, you know, I was just ready. I was just ready. He stood in front of me. He was glowing, and I went, I want what you've got. And he went to me, right, I'll pick you up Monday night. I'll take you to St. Luke's Church. No word of a lie. 18 years ago. I remember standing there, and Del went, Kai went, It's something going on with you. He said, your eyes are like, they was just open. They was like, I was listening for the first time. That was the moment, yeah. When I walked up them stairs that night, no word of a lie, praise my Lord, yeah. I remember walking up them stairs, going into my bedroom. It must have been about 9:30, 10:15. I dropped down on my knees for the first time in my life.
Right.
And I said, God, fucking help me.
Yeah.
Please help me.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting there, and it was tears coming down my eyes. I was shaking all over. And I went, okay, I've asked. I laid down on that bed. And he gave me an experience in that bedroom that night. There was just overwhelming presence of something in that bedroom. It was like I was in a tomb. There was mist. There was a light in the corner, and he lifted me off the bed. And he said, it's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. And he dropped me down like that. And I was shouting out to Del downstairs, Del, help me, help me, help me. And nothing was coming out. And I remember the next day, that was the moment that I knew he was there. I knew I was ready,
right,
to do the deal.
Yeah,
to do his work, you know.
Question 8. Which parts of the steps were the most difficult for you?
None of them.
No, not your amends, not your step 4?
No, none of them. None of them.
Well, you just inhaled the work right away. You just went with it.
I just went for it. So if I can sit here and telling the truth, none of them steps have given me any. I haven't gone, nah, I ain't doing that, I ain't doing that, I ain't doing that. They're not one of them. Not one of them. Not one of them, mate. The amends process is ongoing, you know. And funny enough,
18 years in.
Yeah. You know, I have to do, you know, I'll do what it says in the book.
Yeah.
Do what it says in the book. I'll do what it says. I go to meetings, whatever. You know, people go, about step 4. You know, I've done thousands of step 4s with people. And they struggle, some people.
No, I did.
Yeah, so I never. Because, when that night, he picked me up at Dale's door, my mate's house, and took me to St Luke's. When I walked into that room, I felt at home. It was like, something opened up again. He went, boom, and I met guys in I knew. And I went, wow. And he went, hello, mate. You're sure? And I went, Gary. And there was a geezer doing a chair. It was all things related to God and the power. Yeah, when I stepped in, he stepped in. And I faced him. Yeah, I faced him. I wanted help. I wanted direction. I wanted to put some action in, right? When my sponsor was doing the Church of Luke's, I didn't know he was going to be my sponsor. I just sat there and listened to him, and I went, he's talking about me. Everything he said that I've done. Because a lot of addicts, all addicts are different, all addicts are different. But, when I sat in front of Peter, it was like, I looked at him and there was Will there was Richard there was Jeff there was Steve there was a Paul there was another Steve there, and another guy, I can't remember his name. Then there was only about 8 of us at a meeting. 8 of us in St Luke's Church, 8 of us. And he spoke about sponsorship. He spoke about the steps. Now, I didn't have a clue. I see him at the AA meeting when I was going there, because I was doing it for her. We were doing it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. See yourself? Now, so do I change?
Yeah.
I come round.
Yeah.
So, and end of the meeting, I went to see this guy, and he gave me this book. I got it in my hands today. Look, it's bad.
For the listener, Gary has brought his book.
Yeah.
It's
sad.
I think it's well used.
Yeah.
It's well thumbed.
Yeah.
18 years old and full of highlights and everything. It's your story in that book.
It's great. It's great. We when he gave me this book, I went, because look, where my English were very good, my maths was very good, and I were very, very. I couldn't read or write very much.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was hard. So it was hard, and I think that's where my anger come from. A lot of it, where people would take the piss, and I'd go, do what? I can't read. Why are you putting me in a spot? Like at school, it was like.
Were you bullied at school?
No, I wasn't bullied. I wasn't bullied. No, I wasn't bullied. I think I bullied myself.
Right.
I think I bullied myself, really, because I didn't, sports and that, fantastic. But, like anything with manual, with my hands, anyway, I was fantastic. That was good, of course it comes from our childhood, whatever. I just find that I felt that I wish I'd have learnt, but then, why was I blocked off from that little bit of sensitivity that, I can't read or write very well, Anyway, that changed. That changed, Sylv.
Yeah. Question 9. Which character defects give you most trouble?
Anger.
Right.
Anger, yeah. Anger, because even the 18 years in sobriety, even the 18 years that I've had partners, my last partner, was it a year and a half ago, I was sitting in a police cell down Alpenton for attempted murder.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Yes. That's in recovery. Sitting there and thinking, look, when you're with someone, see my philosophy and my look on relationships have changed over the years, Sil. Very changed, I'm not going to I want the one that was cooking me dinners every day and ironing my clothes and go and have a nice day, babe, and I'll see you later. That was my wife, you know what I mean? I met a girl in the rooms 10 years ago, and then I moved away down to Dorset where my sister lives, and then one fateful day I got in touch with her, and we met, and I went up there. She was in trouble. I took her through the 12-step program, you know, and I was surprised. I would tell anyone that's the wrong way to do it. I've done it, and I got involved with her. And I spent 2.5 years with her, getting nicked 4 times by something that I never done. Something I never done. I never done nothing. It was all in her head. Where she was on prescription drugs, 18 pills a day. I told the police this. I had a 2.5 hour interview a year and a half ago with the police. You know, and you talk about the power of God, about that moment, yeah. He come in, Sylv, and he just ripped me to pieces. God, he just went, go on, go, do it. Do what you got to do. I said, help me out here. And he helped me out. And I remember, you know, leaving them cells after 18 hours being banged up. And the police officer said to me, thank you for your honesty, Gary. And I went, look, there's 2 stories to one story. There's 2 sides. So, you know, Sylvie, I've been hit hard sometimes, and I've come out of it, and you know, and it was about, you know, in 2 years, my meetings slackened off. My prime was there still. My 10 and 11 weren't a lot. They weren't there a lot, you know. So, and I'm thinking, hold up here. I'm feeling a little bit digital here, you know. And I did have an argument with her, and I did jump on the bed with her and grab her. Because I said, shut up, just shut up. But I didn't say, I'm going to fucking kill you. Because that's what she said. That I was going to kill her. And I went, nah, it's all wrong. So, you know, it's about honesty with me.
Yeah.
About honesty.
Yeah.
You know?
But anger clearly an issue.
Oh, anger, yeah, because Sylv, right?
It was a threatening behaviour, surely.
Yeah, it's threatening behaviour, but
At least.
Sylv, us addicts are sensitive, right? I'm a sensitive person, right? Through this work, I found out that I'm a scorpion and all, so I've got a sting in the tail. Is that when someone's not telling me the truth or they're lying to me, I take it in a different way. I take it in a different way, definitely. So, you know, but to say I've sorted that out, that's done. You know, I'm not. You know, that's not. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about where I come from. But you know, I've had a few ups and downs with birds and that. But you know, just get on with it. Just get on with it, man.
Question 10.
Yes.
What is the best thing recovery has given you?
Oh, what's the best thing? Freedom, man. Freedom and peace and power. To go to work in the morning, to get up in the morning, get on your knees, say the prayers, and then go out and face the day, walk on a job that you love. Walk on a job that I'm tingling all over now. Walk on a job that I love. I work in big houses, big £12 million, £13, £40 million houses. And I walk in there and go, wow, what's going on here? And I go to a meeting and I hear someone who's just come in after 6 months, a year, whatever, and I can see them. That's what it's all about. It's about me giving this away. And giving it away the best way that the guys taught me how to do it. You know what I mean? And, you know, and if you don't want it, go and try something else. You know? He's given me a life of my wildest dreams. He really has.
You're taking your sponsorship really seriously, but
Yes, I do. It's like, you know, my sponsor went to me, he went, right. He said, I want you to do a step-free prayer every morning, every night. He said, when you call me every single day, he said, I want you to get the 90 meetings in 90 days, which I've done. I've done 125 meetings in 90 days. Because I knew he was telling me what to do. Not telling me to do, he was suggesting what to do. And I've done that, you know. And then I say to people, so, you know, people ask me to sponsor them, I go, right. I said, have you got a book? And they go, no. I said, get a book. I said, I'll show you something, page 63. Exactly what my sponsor told me, page 63, step-free prayer. Do that every night and every morning. And he went, okay, do that. And I don't do it, I don't do it. I can't force them to do it. But I done it, and it got me to a place where I am today, Sylv. Yeah, it's great, mate. I am so grateful for what I've got today. I don't need a lot. I got guys around me. I got, you know, my old sponsor around me. I got guys around me I know from when I come in are still around.
Yeah, and still part of.
Yeah, it's still part of, yeah. And it's about service. still do service, and I'm still supposed to be. I'm not at a meeting, I'm working with someone. And I think it's when you're working with someone through this book and they're getting it and you can feel they're getting it. You can feel it. I can feel them changing, because they're not asking too many questions, and it's great when they get it and they go, thank you, girl. I go, no, don't thank me, thank God. I'm just a vessel. I'm just his vessel to do my best for him and for you. If you want this, it's for free. You don't have to pay nothing for it. So, I'm glad. I'm real glad
This is where it being a podcast and not a YouTube channel or a TV show is a bit of a shame, because I wish people could see that twinkle in your eye that you've got right now.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I've got it. Yeah, I know.
Beauty to behold.
I feel it.
Question 11. What would you say to a newcomer or someone wondering if they're an addict?
Well, I would say to them, go and don't try some controlled drinking. It says it in the book, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Look, if they're an addict, well, go and try some controlled drinking if you can stop. And you're not an addict or an alcoholic. Go and have a line of Charlie if you can stop. You're not an alcoholic addict, are you? Yeah. But if you can't stop, you've got trouble. But, I find that's a question that, I think you've got to ask yourself. And I think if you still have consequences by using and drinking, like losing your job every month or 3 months or whatever, or getting kicked out every week, or spending all your money waking up in a blackout or hospital or a police station, I think you're in trouble. So I think you should come to the rooms and ask for help.
Yeah. It's interesting because that definition in the book, the controlled drinking, and that suggestion in the book. So the book says, if you want to find out if you're an alcoholic, then go out and try some controlled drinking. Can you stop? Try it a few times. Yeah. And I didn't have that definition at that time, obviously, but before I came in, I spent a long time trying just that, trying to control, right? And I went through all kinds of, so I'd kind of go, okay, fine. Let me just do my first line at, say, 11 a.m. in brackets. If you're doing lines at 11 a.m., you have a problem, but never mind. Let me just do my first line at 11 a.m. And then maybe if I finish by sort of 4 or 5, then it's been a good day, right? And I tried that. It never worked. No, it never worked. I tried different ways. What if I try only X amount of lines per evening, or maybe only the weekend or whatever? And it would never, ever, ever work. And if I'd had that definition that the book gives at that time, I'd have known a lot quicker.
Yes.
If I'd have been ready to hear it, probably not. But at least I'd have been able to sort of have, I guess, a yardstick, like a standard. So if you can do this, fine. If you can't, you're in trouble, and in trouble I was. Last question, question 12. What do you want your higher power to say to you at the pearly gates, in inverted commas?
Wow, what would my higher power say to me at the pearly gates? I think I would thank him. I'd thank him, I think I would thank him. His power and his direction and his love, and he touches you and helps you in places that you never ever dreamed he would. I had experiences after experiences in Italy, the Rome, the Vatican. I've had experiences out there. I've had Jesus hold my hand walking across the square there. It's just amazing. And meeting people that I would just say to him, thank you, just thank you for everything you've done for me.
Well, I'd like to thank you for being a guest on 12 Steps and 12 Questions. This was absolutely brilliant.
You're welcome, man. Anytime.
Thank you so much.
God bless you.
We've come to the end of this episode. Thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed it and would like other addicts and alcoholics to hear it, then please make the pesky AIs and algorithms work their 12th step. Hit like and subscribe. While this pod is based on the 12-Step Recovery Program, it's not officially affiliated with any 12-Step fellowship. 12 Steps and 12 Questions is not substance or behavior specific, it's fully self-supporting and not-for-profit. And you know this next bit. It's not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organization or institution. It does not wish to engage in any controversy, and it neither endorses nor opposes any causes.